Welcome to our presentation on Talentum SFOR's standard survey over culture and work climate. What does our standard survey measure? Our survey wants to measure the work environment and culture that exists in the company from the employee's perspective and experience. We have developed a model based on our experience of more than 30 years working within the industry. Our survey measures 5 factors: employee engagement, organizational leadership, culture, talent management and communication, as well as industry related needs. Keep in mind that we can also add parameters that you would like to measure, such as housing or education, and we can cater the survey to your operations needs. We as well do these surveys in Spanish at a level that all employees can understand, as well as being flexible to those employees that cannot read in Spanish or English. Why do we need to survey employees, and why do we need to do it anonymously? This is because listening to the employees' needs and points of view help your organization to become more effective and efficient. Asking employees for their feedback and input in a way that they do not feel pressure to answer what leadership would like to hear allows employees to speak freely and openly. The survey results and data obtained will provide valuable insight into the values and overall work culture of an operation. It also offers several benefits that will help you to increase employee engagement, increase employee retention, increase productivity, improve safety, as well as to help your team quickly adapt to change. When measuring the organizational culture, we can also determine company's alignment and provide data analysis to the senior leadership team to focus on. Remember, what gets measured gets done. So what is being measured in our survey? Our survey measures the organization's ability to satisfy the needs of the people who work in it and how they perceive the message built by the senior leadership team regarding values, goals, expectations, culture, and more. Keep in mind that employees' needs can range from the very basic, such as having the necessary tools and not being discriminated against, to the very complex, such as having opportunities for personal growth as well as feeling a part of a common goal. What conditions are needed for a survey to be successful? Thanks to our vast experience surveying employees, we know that the following 5 conditions must be met for a survey to be successful. Firstly, the objectives must be defined. In our case, we want to listen and receive feedback from employees about the company, measure job satisfaction, identify level of communication, evaluate the effectiveness of leadership, and more. Honesty. We want employees to answer what they think and not what they believe others want them to answer. Thirdly, anonymity and confidentiality. The important thing is to know the perspective of the employees. That's why we ask them to not write their names on any survey sheet. We also guarantee that no one from the operation, even those that hire us, will have access to the surveys, only the results. Fourth, the publishing of results. All employees of the organization will be presented with the results obtained. To earn trust, transparency is a must. And fifth, the presentation of an action plan. Once the executive leadership team decides and writes the plan, it must then be presented to all employees. We would like to explain to you how our survey is organized. There are 68 questions organized into 5 factors. First is engagement, which has 11 questions. Second, organizational leadership with 13 questions. Third, culture with 19 questions. Fourth, talent management and communication with 14 questions. And fifth, industry-related/niche needs with 12 questions. Each of these factors can be broken down into indicators. For engagement, there is commitment and empowerment. For organizational leadership, there is strategy, leadership, as well as resources and management. For culture, there is work climate, feedback, recognition, and teamwork. For talent management and communication, there is talent and communication. And for industry-related/niche needs, there is animal welfare, community, and safety. We would now like to show you a report from the standard 68 question survey results. As you can see, there is an average score of 74. This score is derived from the 5 factors: engagement, organizational leadership, culture, talent management and communication, as well as industry-related/needs. A total of 79 employees answered the survey out of 82, which you can see at the bottom. Factor 1 in our standard survey will always be engagement. Engagement is comprised of 2 indicators: commitment and empowerment. As you can see, both commitment and empowerment have scores above the average of 74. We will skip factor 2 for time constraints. However, factor 3, culture, is comprised of 4 indicators: recognition, feedback, work climate, and teamwork. As you can see, recognition and feedback are both below the average of 74. You can see again here that a total of 79 employees answered the survey. We have spoken to you about factors and indicators, but we would now like to show you some of these sample questions that you might get when taking the survey. On this slide, we have questions from the indicator empowerment, which comes from factor 1, engagement. The first question is, my supervisor encourages me to make decisions for myself and to be responsible for their consequences. 2. My supervisor trusts me and delegates tasks and responsibilities to me. And 3. My supervisor trusts me and my ability/capacity to do my job well. You can once again see at the bottom that a total of 79 employees took this survey. On this slide, we will have questions from the indicator community, which is a part of factor 5, industry-related/needs. The question, my impact on the local community is positive, has a score of 63 compared to the average of 74. In order to find out why this might be, we can dig deeper. The question, my impact on the local community is positive, has 7 responses for no, 12 responses for yes, and 60 responses for I do not know. We can see the answer distribution for all questions on any survey you do with us. We do this to make sure that you know what needs intervention and what needs recognition. One thing that we can do to further analyze the answers is to segment the general results into each area and department of the operation. You can see on this page that the top set of columns are the general results of the survey. However, below them are the general results segmented into areas. The blue column will always be maintenance, which has 13 employees. The green column will always be shop, which has 6 employees. The yellow will always be feeding with 8 employees. Orange will be parlor with 35 employees. And red will be health with 17 employees. If you add up the total number of team members in each area, you will find that it equals 79 employees, which is the number of employees that took this survey. If you take the 69 in culture, you will find that it is a composite score of all the different areas scores in culture. This is true for all other factors as well. In the next slide, we can compare the answers for each question by area. You can see the general results from the empowerment questions on top. Beneath those are those same results divided into areas. In the first 2 questions, you can see that shop is trailing behind, whereas maintenance has higher scores. When we give you our report, we also analyze and present our findings. For example, on this farm of 79 employees, managers scored higher than other departments. This implies that managers have a different experience than the rest of the employees. Another thing is that in Factor 4, talent management and communications, promotions are perceived differently amongst the employees. They feel that even if they apply, favoritism will be at play when it comes to getting a promotion. Also, in Factor 4, we found that communication between supervisors was low. We also found that communication among areas is also rated lowly. Lastly, in Factor 5, industry related / needs, safety might be an issue amongst the employees that supervisors do not see. These are just some of the findings that we might share with you when we analyze the survey results. One of the most important things that we do with our results is to have individual meetings with managers. We like to individually discuss the results for their area compared to the general results. Doing this, we can then discuss what needs intervention and what needs recognition. On this page, we can see the general results of 79 employees compared to the shop's results of 6 employees. One of the most striking differences is how far below shop would be in culture compared to the general results. However, we can see that shop, when it comes to industry related / needs, is doing better than the general results. When it comes to Factor 3, culture, and specifically these 3 questions pertaining to the indicator feedback, we can see that shop falls behind in question 3. I feel my supervisors appreciate and recognize my work. This will urge the manager to address the situation and seek guidance / help. One thing that we do is present each manager with a list of their high and low score questions. We then sit down to produce an action plan and interventions needed to improve those low scores. We will then follow up and issue another survey based on needs. Now that you've seen a small sample of our report, you can see that we gain a very valuable insight that can provide us with the data and the needs that the senior leadership team must address to create and sustain a culture of excellency instead of a failed culture or a culture simply left to chance. The next example is a custom survey where the operation was run by 3 partners and they wanted to be evaluated by their 9 managers. As you can see, there was an average score of 70. Now, given that the fact that there were only 9 managers, you may wonder how there were 27 total surveys. This is because each manager filled out one survey for each partner. One for partner 1, one for partner 2, and another for partner 3. Because this is a custom survey, there are no factors. However, there are 4 indicators. Today we'll be focusing on the lowest scoring indicator, self-awareness. Self-awareness's score was 63 compared to the average of 70. When we checked the lowest scoring indicator, in this case self-awareness with a score of 63 compared to the average of 70, we looked to see which is the lowest scoring question. In this case, it is question 3. Controls his emotions even in high pressure situations. We analyzed this question to see specifically where is the 53 coming from. This is the same graph, however broken up into columns representing each partner's score. The pink column is partner 1, the purple column is partner 2, and the violet column is partner 3. As you can see, in question 3, as well as the other questions, partner 2 is scoring the lowest. For question 3, controls his emotion even in high pressure situations, partner 1 is indicated with a blue circle. 6 agree with a statement, and 3 strongly agree with a statement. However, with partner 2, 7 disagree with a statement that he can control his emotions even in high pressure situations. 1 strongly disagrees, and only 1 agrees. Ironically, the partner pushing the most for this survey was partner 2. In this slide, we are going to compare how partner 2 and partner 1 differ in self-awareness by department. On top, the blue column would be the farming department, green column the dairy department, yellow column office, orange column shop, red column almonds, and turquoise column board. In question 3, You can see that all departments scored partner 2 lonely with the exception of Almond. However, even then, partner 1 outperforms him. We can also see that for partner 2, he consistently underperforms in farming and does best in almonds. In the case of partner 1, he underperforms in the shop department. Our next step was sharing the results with the partners and the managers. We came up with an action plan where executive coaching with each of the partners was key. The managers then followed this up a few months later with another survey. We want to reinforce the belief that what gets measured gets done. What gets measured and fed back gets done well, and what gets rewarded gets repeated. Please feel free to contact us at any time with any questions or inquiries you may have, and we hope to hear back from you soon.